Welcome back to the weekly show. Let's give a warm greeting to our host, Jem Midgley. Thank you. Hello. I didn't really plan this far into the bit. So it's definitely Friday. We'll just pretend. I've been waiting for this particular Friday for a long time because it's the 21st of May. And on this Friday, 4 albums, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 albums I've been waiting for come out. And also this one by Olivia Rodrigo, which I haven't even listened to yet. 4 albums. I was going to start with 21 Pilots. I was, because I knew they probably have the biggest mass appeal. But then, this album came out. And I knew that if people are dropping off partway into the video, this is the one thing I wanted people to know. That Harmony House by Dayglow is a fantastic album. Far and above one of the best things I've heard this entire year. 70s influence, 80s influence, it's got disco, it's got dance, it's so fun. The vibes are there, the sound is lit, it's all good. You can listen. It's not a long album. I think it's 37 minutes long. So you listen to the whole thing in one sitting. And it is gorgeous. You love it. Because every song works and it doesn't stay at the same level. There's some more melancholy songs and some more upbeat songs. And here's the track list and my scores for each track. I love this album. I'll tell you what, I've listened to Dayglow for a little while now, and he used to be this really fun indie artist that I just liked listening to. And then earlier this year, he dropped Close to You. I said that it was the sign of him going from being a fun indie artist to a masterclass powerhouse of the genre. And this album stays true to that. The whole album is gold, and it got a 9.1 out of 10. My ratings. Arbitrary, but it's true. The average song length is 3 minutes and 8 seconds, just for fun. You know, we love that. And the top track is Crying on the Dance Floor, which is kind of like a guy's side of Prom Dress by MXM Toon, which is fun. I thought that was fun. And now, the album you all wanted. 21 Pilots, Scaled and Icy, which early on fans were like, oh, it's an anagram of Clancy is Dead, which has something to do with the lore from Trench. This is not about lore, by the way. Lore. I have no idea what's going on there. Frankly, I lost it after Blurry Face. But really, Tyler Joseph said it was just about Scaled and Icy is short for scaled back, and isolated, which is how life was during quarantine months. How was this album? At this point, 21 Pilots are so expected to be something massive. After Blurry Face, after Trench, which were superb albums. Just all the way through. Fantastic. They come out with this, and I think it's amazing. It's such a step back. It really is scaled back because it's just fun. It's just light. They've got a heavier track in there. I would say one mainly heavier track, No Chances. That one was a bit scary. I've been listening to 21 Pilots for years now. I love the band. And everything on this album was so much tighter. Everything is just, the rapping was, and the singing. Tyler Joseph is so good at singing. If you didn't know this, you should know this. There is one gripe I have with the album. I never really got the sense that they really let Josh Dunn off the chain. I really felt like he could have taken more chances, which disappointed me because I think he is one of the best drummers around these days. So that was kind of, I don't know. Anyways, here's the track.
I have a gripe. The whole album was only 38 minutes long.
Andy says he gripes that the whole album was only 38 minutes long. This is sadly a gripe. However, the average song length was 3 minutes and 35 seconds, which is longer than I'd say the industry average is at this point. Songs are becoming shorter and shorter because of streaming services. We're losing long songs, which is going back to Dayglow. Some of his songs had like saxophone solos, electric guitar solos. It's just so nice to hear because you don't get that anymore. The bridge is dying out. Have you noticed? The bridge, the solo, they might be gone in a couple of years because nobody needs a song more than 2 minutes. Fantastic album. Solid album. Oh, I love how well the electric guitar is slotting into their sound. It never takes too much. I don't know how they did it. It wasn't there before, it's here now, and no one's complaining because it works. The top track for me was The Outside. I thought that was probably my favorite track, probably the best track on the album. Alright, now that we've gotten those ones out the way... Oh, sorry, 8.4 total. Now those are out of the way, we'll move on to the albums that, only the hardcore fans are watching for at this point. This is a band that I've listened to for a while, and they're a bit of a heavier band, I'll say it. Most of their songs have a few no-no words, if you know what I'm saying. Also, if you're one of our conservative viewers, I don't recommend this album, neither have I listened to this album. Waterparks, I think they are a fantastic pop-punk band. They really have a personal aspect to the lyrics. I think Austin Knight is a amazing lyricist and singer, and the music is really... I don't hear much like them anywhere else. In the whole genre, in the whole industry, Waterparks are still special. Here's the track list. I've labeled the ones with no words E for explicit. So as you can see, it's the majority. It's the vast majority. Overall, a really good album. It's highs and lows and fasts and slows, and it draws you in, and then it shows you, and then you sort of you're going with it and whatever. And in classic Waterparks themes, there are some heavier themes because Austin Knight writes about his personal life and his mental health and that kind of thing. So it's a fun sort of way though. He always plays it off as a joke, sort of like in the one part where he's like, "Whoops, that got a little dark." That's one of the lyrics. Whoops, I got a little dark. Yeah, things get a little hard. And it's played as jokes, and then in some tracks it isn't, and then suddenly you're like, wow, this is serious. In general, my main gripe with this album would be that the songs are a bit short. Like I said, the bridge is dying out, the solo is dying out. The musicality as a whole, amazing. Is that a real word, or is that like a modern word? Musicality? Anyways, so we come to an average song length of 2 minutes and 35 seconds. See, this is the shorter thing we're coming to these days. And then the best track, which I can recommend to all my friends, conservative and liberal, and non-binary. American Graffiti is the track. It's a banger, okay? I love this song. I love the sound. Here, I'll just play a bit because it's so good. Just get a load of this. It's just so clean. It's got the guitar, it's got the drums, it's got the vocals. I'd also just like to mention, 21 Pilots like to have this, they've had this for a long time. They like to have a good contrast between the verse and the chorus. Nothing, just writing to say something, cause I wasn't the only one who wasn't rushing to say nothing. Can you save my everyday soul? But then Waterparks is different. They like to have contrast between the first chorus and the second chorus. If you need me now, I'll be there somehow. If you need me now, I'll be there somehow. It's a really cool tool that they use to build a real progression in the sound. Finally, I'd like to welcome back the three of you who are still watching. This is one by Lord Huron. I think that's how you pronounce it. I really meant to look it up already. Long Lost. This is a band I got into recently. Recently being November, when I was really sad, and a friend of mine recommended one of their songs. And then they started releasing singles. And I was like, it means an album, right? And I was right. And now they have an album. And the album is by far the longest of the ones I had to listen to on Friday, and I did listen to all of them on Friday. This one came out at 58 minutes, which was... well, that's 11 minutes longer than the Waterparks one, which came second. So then we come to Long Lost, and it's got some really interesting themes that I haven't really figured out. It's got a bunch of interludes in it that sort of give to this overall picture of it being a performance. It's like a late night show host introducing the band and talking to them a bit, and it puts a theme. It adds a theme. That's what it does. I was getting a bit worried a few songs in that it was all going to just sound the same, which was the same for Dayglow. But then we get some slower songs, some faster songs, and the interludes that carry you through the whole theme. Here's the songs with their ratings. As you can see, there's a lot of 10 out of 10s out there. I thought there were some really good songs. I'll do the maths afterwards. If we eliminate all the mini songs, the interludes, and this thing at the end, this absolute monster at the end, a 15-minute long track. The average song length comes out at this, whatever this is, which is decently long, I hope. The average song length at the moment was 3 minutes and 37 seconds. The total score for this album, including all the interludes and the monster at the end, was a 9.1 out of 10, same as Dayglow. So for me, a fantastic album, really, really a whole vibe. Some songs aren't for every time, but when it's the right time, no other song will do the job. And this is the same for the album. I think it's an amazing album. The music as a whole is so skillfully done. And of course, I have to give the top track to I Lied, which is featuring Alison Pontier. Alison, sorry, I don't know why I said Alison like she's the keeper from Liverpool. I'm a sucker for a good duet, and this was one of the best. I've listened to this song so many times already because it is that good. Make sure you tune in this Friday for our latest single, Victoria, written and produced and musicized by our very own Andy. Thanks for watching. Those are my ratings of these all four of these This is just getting worse. Those are my ratings for 4 albums. Take it or leave it. I hope you take it. Listen to Harmony House by Dayglow. That's all you need to know. Jordan Pilots is good too.